Well, good Monday morning, everybody. Happy Labor Day. We are live chatting about what to expect for today and for the next several days as a new pattern builds in and temperatures continue to trend right around that 100 to 101 degree mark here in San Antonio and mostly across the state as well, especially in Central and for South Texas. First, a update on the summer so far. So we wrapped up meteorological summer on September 1st. But astronomical summer goes through, I believe, September 22nd. So we're still technically in the astronomical summer season. And so far, we're at 67 days this summer, and for that matter, this year of triple-digit heat. So that's actually an all-time record. 2023 takes the cake, first place, and we beat out the all-time record a few days ago, at least on last Sunday, I believe, which was set back in 2009 of 59 days. So we're already continuing to break the all-time record and adding to it every single day here in the area. Okay, before we get to that, also the drought monitor updates. You can see it's pretty bad from San Antonio to the Hill Country, all the way up I-35 towards Abilene, towards Killeen, Round Rock. It's exceptional. That's a 5 out of 5. That's the worst kind of drought you can see. And notice out near Eagle Pass, Del Rio, it's pretty good. It has improved thanks to last month's rain and on and off downpours moving in from the coast. Again, that was thanks to Tropical Storm Harold as it moved in last month. That's where the bulk of the rainfall really fell and put a dent in some of the drought along the Rio Grande. So that's the good news, but San Antonio and most of the area remains in pretty bad shape. Out there right now, it's clear, it's sunny. Highs will be around 100 today. But there are some showers and even some thunder showers forming east of San Antonio this morning and going to continue to do so through the afternoon. They're at least 6 p.m., mainly towards Houston, East Texas, western Louisiana. You can kind of see the bigger picture. As I zoom in, anywhere from, let's say, Victoria towards Houston and I-45 and towards Lake Charles, that's where we're going to expect, for today at least, the best chance at rain, the best coverage of showers and storms. Non-severe, but you can see a complex of rain is moving up farther north towards Tyler, Texas, and right here, I'll zoom in on it. It's a pretty large amount of rain right here over Lufkin, between there, Seven Oaks, east of Huntsville, and moving towards Jasper and Center, Texas along Highway 96. So that's where the rain is abundant right now, but we're not expecting much in San Antonio. However, if you're watching from Gonzales, Cuero, maybe Seguin, east of Bexar County, that's where a couple of isolated downpours could get going after 2 p.m. today. It's not going to be a lot, but let me show you why this is happening. An upper level low, that swirl in the atmosphere, is moving through Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, and that's the spark, the lift in the instability in the atmosphere, if you will, that's helping to produce rain. So here's a forecast model. You'll see through at least 2 p.m. additional development through Houston. So if you're traveling down I-10 towards that area today, anticipate rain, a few downpours, and that may slow down your commute for this afternoon for your Labor Day. As we move into this evening, generally quiet. Again, there may be a couple of straight isolated showers that move towards Seguin, Gonzales, areas in eastern San Antonio, but we're not expecting a lot. Better chance east of I-35. Right now, only about a 10 to 20% for San Antonio and the metro. Meantime, heat's going to be the big story as highs rebound to about 100 to 101 this afternoon. Right now, we're at 87 in the city. Same thing at Timberwood Park, 91 at Castroville, and about 85 at Hondo. Lower 90s already in George West and Beeville across Live Oak County and towards B County, Victoria at 93, and Columbus at 90 degrees. Today's forecast for San Antonio at least 100 to 101, a south wind 5 to 10 miles an hour, and sunset earlier. Remember, days are actually getting shorter now as we approach fall and also winter in the next several months, so days are going to gradually get shorter. This morning sunrise was at 7:13. Tonight's sunset will be at 7:53 p.m. The overall pattern and the long-range forecast, not much changes. As a matter of fact, by Tuesday and Wednesday, this ridge of high pressure starts to really strengthen, gain the upper hand, if you will. And by Friday, it's pretty much right between El Paso, San Antonio, New Mexico, and the desert Southwest, Arizona, and Colorado. What that's going to do is create a very dry pattern. Heat, highs trending around 102 to 103 through the weekend for the city and for most of the area and across the state. Now, forecast models have been kind of depicting this for the last several days. It shows this ridge moving a little bit farther west, which would be good news, shaving off a couple degrees in the afternoon, but also opening the door on the eastern side of high pressure for these little disturbances to move in from the north. It's not going to be a lot, but sometimes outflow boundaries and thunderstorms out in Oklahoma, Dallas, North Texas can sometimes ride the upper level flow, that northerly flow, and travel towards the hill country, towards San Antonio, and give us a chance at rain. Right now, it's not looking great, but the chance is there by this weekend. Right now, we're only accounting for like a 10% chance for that, so cross your fingers. Hopefully it gets better as more forecast data comes in. To the tropics we go. Hurricane season continues to march on. As a matter of fact, September 10th is the climatological peak of hurricane season in the Atlantic. When the water is the warmest, wind shear is less, there's less dust in the atmosphere, and that typically yields more tropical activity, depressions, storms, and hurricanes. Now, we have post-tropical storms out there. That's Gert and Katia. No immediate threats to land. But notice the Hurricane Center is watching two different disturbances in the Atlantic and just off the coast of Africa. Both of them have a medium to high chance at tropical cyclone development. Right now, that would impact the Caribbean islands probably 5 to 7 days out, so it's still a long way out, and it wouldn't make it to the U.S. if it were to organize, and depending on atmospheric conditions, that would be about 14 days out, because it's so far in the Atlantic, there's not much out there right now. So again, long-range forecasting, we'll see if this materializes to anything in the forecast later on next week, because I guess that's a long way out in the forecast. Today, 101, mostly sunny. South winds 8 to 12 miles an hour, a light wind at best. Trending right around that for tomorrow and Wednesday. Not much of a breeze, maybe a little gusty on Wednesday or tomorrow. An occasional gust to 20 miles an hour, but nothing too impressive. And then trending up to 102 to 103 Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And a small chance at rain coming in by the weekend. Again, 10 to 20%. We'll see if that changes in the outlook as forecast data comes in the next several days. In the meantime, that is the forecast. No huge changes on the front as we continue for the first full week of September, as highs again trend way above average. Normal this time of year is 93. We'll be around 10 degrees above that for the foreseeable future with barely any rain in the forecast. That's it for weather, guys. Have a great one on the forecast. Oh, Eugene, you were asking about cold fronts. So let's talk about that. Typically, cold fronts don't usually happen until late September and early October. That's climatologically when we see our first cold front. Let me actually pull up a graphic, Mr. Eugene. Let's see. I think I have a cold front graphic that kind of shows when we typically see the first one of the season. We're hoping for it, right? Because, let's see. It has been so hot this summer, right? All right, let me load that up and show you what we got. Average first time of a cold front. So I made this graphic last year, but typically when we get our high temperatures below 80, that's sometime around mid-September and mid-October. And remember, this time of year, it can only cool us down for a day or two at a time. Temperatures here in Texas rebound fast, especially in South and Central Texas. But again, average first time for cold fronts is around mid-September to mid-October. So we're still a little away from that. And anytime below 70 is around mid-October to early November, below 60, so on and so forth, and below 50 for high temperatures around mid-December through early January. That's when average highs really start to tumble down here in San Antonio. So that is what to expect for cold front season. Hopefully things happen very, very quickly because it has been one of the hottest summers on record, unfortunately. As high as every single day this summer has been like at 100, 101, 102. It hasn't been a very enjoyable summer at all. So that's it, guys. Any more questions? Eugene, did I answer your question when we could see a cold front? Yeah, so no cold fronts in the local forecast in the next 7 days. But again, typically they start moving in late September, early October, and hopefully they get stronger and stronger through the middle part of fall. So we'll see what happens. Talk about a long summer. Yes, it has been. We've hit 67 total days at 100 or hotter. We're going to add to that today and for the next 7 days adding to the all-time record here in San Antonio. All right, guys. Well, if you have any more questions, feel free to comment down below. If you don't, message me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or X, and I can always answer any questions about weather phenomena, or if you're traveling across the state or across the country, you can always go deep into the forecast models and talk about that as well. For now, we'll put it on full screen and leave up the 7-day a little bit longer. Highs trending around 101 to 102 for the next 7 days with barely any chance for rain in sight.